Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another AB Daily News with your hockey coach guru, Coach Frenchy. Today, episode number 237. What do you have a new coach? First of all, Martin Saint-Louis, the train about the culture and the brand. Then, why do you going to watch the Montreal Canadiens after many injuries? Then, finally, we'll talk about the AB Prospect Weekly at the end with some comments from the expert from TSN, Craig Budden. But before we start, we invite you, please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey National Show, and please leave me a comment about this episode. And let's dive in talking about my first subject of the day. My first subject of the day, guys, about Martin Saint-Louis. Talk about the brand and the culture after the amazing, great performance of Montreal Canadiens against the Toronto Maple Leafs. They won by the score of 3-2 on overtime, a goal of Rem Pitlick. He talked about because of the injuries they have since like 7 days ago, the accumulation of 5 different players. Some of them will be out of the rest of the season, like Cole Caulfield and Uri Sapkowski. He talked about the train and the culture and the brand come with the train. But what are you talking about? Let's go talk a little bit more about this. He talked about to be all in, like a one team, one logo. And he said about the fact like he wants the people to understand whatever happening every single day, injuries, things they are not in control. He said the train cannot stop because we have injuries. The train, they have to be ready for the next game, the next practice, and on the daily, the train move all the way to the end. We need to be sure we are all inside the train to understand the responsibility of each player, the role inside that organization, and to understand what is the culture we want to bring and we want to explain to the player. They have to be all in. If not, it would be create a couple of problems inside of this organization. This is what they're really focusing now for the rest of the season. And I think for me, it show up during the week. What are you talking about? First of all, again, the Florida Panthers guy, whatever, we have a very bad second period. The players stay together during that adversity. They fight back, 3 fights during the game. They never gave up. They scored 2 goals in the third period. That's called characters. What about the game again, the Toronto Maple Leafs? We have a different player step up, guys, for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm talking about Doc. I'm talking about Josh Anderson. And many other players step up during that game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Talk about the Rocket Laval line, the RV Pinard with Pesada and Belzile. They create energy. They are great for checking, and you change the momentum of the game when Harvey Pinard scored the second goal for the Montreal Canadiens, tied the game during the second period against the Maple Leafs Saturday night. I want to mention to you is about Martin Saint-Louis want to implant a new culture, a new brand now until the end of the season. He used the word train. So everybody have to be inside. He talked about the work ethic. They have to understand the player. They have to give everything every single game, and they have no passenger, but they are all together to push every game to make the train better until to the end. Yes, the outcome is not important for them, but they're really focusing more on the brand and the culture so they can understand whatever a player is out of the lineup, the new players jump in the train now, but he understood he need to apply the same thing the train does every single day at the practice or at the game. Talk about the work ethic, the effort, pay the price, sacrifice, and to understand the responsibility and the role inside the locker room and on the ice when they have to play on defensive zone or the system, the concept or the structure, whatever you call it. And that's what really Martin said we want to focusing until the end of the season. I think it's a great. I still believe the speech of Piquet Subban leave a big impact for the Montreal Canadiens on fan players. So you can see last week Jacky after his fight against Javini Smith show to the people the logo in front of the jersey. We see how Josh Anderson and Kirby Dach step up against the Toronto Maple Leafs when they know Cole Caulfield is out for the rest of the season to prove to the people, the fans, we're not going to give up. And they prove it by the W against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yes, they're going to face to adversity, but they want to be sure every game they're going to give everything, every minute to helping the Montreal Canadiens have the best chance to win. And he wants to be sure that people understand it's about the logo, it's about the team concept, it's about the brand they want to bring, every single day at the rink. Whatever is the practice is the game. Please leave me a comments about my first subject. And let's move on now, guys, for my second subject of the day. My second subject of the day, guys, is about why would you like to watch the Montreal Canadiens now? They lost Caulfield, Sakowski, and they have about 12 players on the injury reserve at this moment. But here what my theory. I think the Montreal Canadiens now, it's not about the outcome of winning or losing. It's about the development. They're really going to focusing for the second part of the season. As an app fans, this was the question I ask you. I would love to hear from you. Why would you like to watch the Montreal Canadiens? Here, the reason why I'm going to watch the Montreal Canadiens. First of all, the development we talk about for Kirby Dach, how he's going to develop as a center with the Montreal Canadiens. Then Samuel Montembeault, if he can consider what he did so far since the beginning of the season, if he can be the possibility to become a regular goaltender in NHL, whatever is a backup or a starter with the Montreal Canadiens. Then the development of the rookies, defensemen. I'm talking about Jekai now, Harris, and the others rookie for the Montreal Canadiens. Then the Rocket Laval players. We know they call up many of them, Jesse Allen, Justin Barron, Belzile. They got Petlick now, and they got Harvey Pinard. How they going to be the development from today until the end of the season? Would be interesting to see them if some of them could stay with the Montreal Canadiens for the next season, 2023-2024, with the Montreal Canadiens. Then, because the trade deadline is coming soon, March 3rd, what is Montreal Canadiens going to do? Who is going to get traded? Is it Joel Edmondson? Is it Josh Anderson? Is it Sean Monahan? What kind of deal are you going to do? What are you going to get in return? Is it a first-round pick, second-round pick? Those will be really interesting to follow up with the Montreal Canadiens. Then, of course, at the end of the season, the NHL Draft Lottery, where they're going to pick their selection for the draft 2023 in Nashville. Is it a top 5? Is it a top 10? What happening with the Panthers? Are they going to make the playoff or not? Are going to finish at the bottom 10 of the standing to get a better pick for the Montreal Canadiens? Then I'm going to follow up all the players prospect NHL draft, who they are, and I want to learn who they're going to be, and the draft, what selection you can be out. Can Montreal Canadiens be interested to Mitch Cobb, Will Smith, to Sandin Pelika, and I can go the list like this. It's very important as an app fan to learn those names and to understand who they are. And finally, the app prospect, I'm going to look inside of this organization. It could be Sean Farrell, Lane Hudson, Joshua Roy, Owen Beck, Logan Mayhew, and William Trudeau, and many others. So I just want to share with you the reason why would you like to watch the Montreal Canadiens now until the end of the season. And of course, one more thing, you have to watch them and to follow the Hockey Nation Live show when we do the play-by-play commentary of the game with the hockey coach, FRENCHY. I would love to see you with me when we do the game. So this concludes, guys, my second subject of the day. And let's move on for the last one. My last subject of the day, guys, about the Montreal Canadiens prospect. First of all, I listening an interview of Greg Budden from the TSN. He's really an expert about the prospect players around the NHL draft every single year. And he talked about 3 prospects for the Montreal Canadiens could create a really important impact future with the HABS. He talked about Joshua Roy, talk about Lane Hudson, and he talked about Owen Beck. Let's start thinking about Joshua Roy, where he said, look, his development about the last 6 months is unbelievable. After he played in the QM last season over 100 points, and August, when he played with the World Junior Championship, he showed other aspect of his game on defensive side, on the two-way players, and then he become a little bit a playmaker for his teammate. This last World Junior Championship, he played with Connor Bedard. You can see this fun of Joshua Roy, where he creates so much great connection with Connor Bedard. But of course, he was really good on the special team, on the PK for the Team Canada. He keep consistent performing with the Sherbrooke Phoenix. He believed for Craig Budden, this will be his last year, and QM is going to move up as a hockey professional. And next year with the Laval Rocket, if not with the Montreal Canadiens. But he said, look, this guy is going to become a top 9. And then he talked about the Lane Hudson. He said, first of all, I followed this kid since he's 16 years old. He said, Hudson always faced to adversity every single year when he play next level, where the people say he's not tall enough, he's not big enough. He go through of every level since he's 16 years old. He does the same thing in NCAA. He continuously performing night after night. Another great weeks for him, by the way, with the Boston University. And then he said, one thing, Lane Hudson, if he was 5'11", he would be a first top pick in the NHL last year because he was only 5'8". A lot of teams skip him. He said, look, he really believed the Montreal Canadiens did a home run with Lane Hudson. He expect him to be with the Montreal the next couple of years with the AB. It creates some kind of impact like Quinn Hughes does with the Vancouver Canucks. Finally, he talked about Owen Beck a little bit. The fact like Owen Beck impressed him, the way he became a better two-way player. His development is unbelievable. The way he became who he is today. He said he have an amazing, great IQ, hockey sense, vision. He can score. He have a really quick release shot. He is a great understanding to play the game at 200 feet. He said, look, Owen Beck is going to be a really important player for the Montreal Canadiens. He said at the end, he won't be surprised if Beck play with the Montreal Canadiens next year. He said the reason why the Mississauga trade him to Peterborough at the trade deadline OHL, the reason why is because the GM of Mississauga believe Beck is not going to returning in OHL next year. So Tripler could create an amazing, great impact for the Montreal Canadiens and the future. It is coming from an expert like Craig Budden, TSN. That's a really impressive to hear from him. Finally, I want to finish with my AB Prospect Weekly Report about Montreal Canadiens. First of all, Riley Kidney have an amazing, great performance. 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points. Lane Hudson, we just talked about him. 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points. If I can recall it properly, I believe we have now 27 points and 22 games with 9 goals and 18 assists. Finally, MEILLEUR, a good week. 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points, 3 games. Sean Farrell in 2 games, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. He have a great year in NCAA. Finally, William Trudeau had 4 points last week with the Laval Rocket. So I just want to give you a little bit more. The players have a good week for the Montreal Canadiens during the weekly report we do every single Monday. And that's conclude, guys, my final subject of the day. Here we go, guys. This concludes this episode. Hopefully you will enjoy it. But before we leave, we invite you, don't forget to please to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Show, and leave me a comment about this episode. And of course, we want to remind you, you have greatness inside of you. We wish you not only an amazing, great day, but we wish you an amazing and blessing week, everybody.